Hello, fellow actors. Welcome back to Casting Actors Cast. Today, the episode is called How to Act with Irony. And I want to start with a warning. Irony is one of the fastest ways actors sabotage themselves. Not because irony is bad, but because it's always misunderstood. So, today we're going to talk about what irony actually is, why casting loves it when it's done right, and how to play irony without losing truth. This is Casting Actors Cast.
Casting actors cast, what a show! With Jeffrey Dreisbach, we're ready to go. From agents to gigs, learn what you lack. Tune in every week, we're bringing you back.
You've done more auditions than a casting director has said, thanks, we'll be in touch. It's time you got serious and learned acting strategies, audition secrets, and tips to grow. Get the Actor's Playbook for Getting Cast. Booked It by Jeffrey Dreisbach. Available right now. Also introducing Next Level Auditions, the online video course. Why not get both? Call it the Ultimate Audition Toolkit. You won't find these on sale because they're worth every penny. If you're serious about your acting career, this is your next step. This is your moment. Let's make it count. CastingActorsCast.com. Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of Casting Actors Cast. I'm Jeff Dreisbach, a casting partner with McCorkle Casting in New York for going on 16 years. Oh my goodness. It's been a long time. I hope you're doing well. I'm looking forward to sharing this episode. It's been a while since I've done an episode about some acting moments, some acting truths. So I thought this would be an excellent time to do that, to share that, talking all about irony. And I think you're going to find this really, really valuable, especially when you come across it in a script or an audition. The tips I have for you might be very, very practical for you to play. Very, very practical insights on how to make it work for yourself. But first, this is that moment of the podcast where I simply get to say thank you for tuning into Casting Actors Cast. The podcast has been going really, really well, and I invite you to check out the website, castingactorscast, all one word, .com. There you're going to find all kinds of things there. One is a form that says dive into the talent pool. If you fill out that form, it gives me your name and your email address. I don't abuse that email address, by the way. I don't spam you ever. I might send out an occasional check out this episode kind of thing, but that's been very, very rare, simply because I don't have the time to do all of the social media stuff that people tell me I need to do. I just don't have the time to do it. So I'd rather put my energy and focus into doing these podios, these podcast videos, because I'm also simulcasting on YouTube, so you can actually watch me do these podcasts. But anyway, if you go back to Casting Actors Cast, all one word.com, you'll see that form. And when you fill out that form, you're going to find some freebies there available for you. Also, on the landing page, you're going to see my book is out. Also, my course is available to you as well. And there's Jeff's Jots, which happens to be corresponding show notes to each of the episode. These are the actual scripts that I write out for each of the podcasts. So if there's some information you want to hang on to or you find very valuable, many actors have found this to be really, really helpful as well. Because if you're in your car listening to me or you're doing your workout routine while listening to the podcast, God bless you. That's amazing. But there may be some piece of advice or information that really lands with you, and getting a printout of that entire episode might help you out very, very much as well. So good for you. There's a lot to talk about what's happening in our casting office. We're gearing up right now for some of our summer theaters, Contemporary American Theater Festival, Barrington Stage Company. We're doing work with Playmakers Repertory Company, but we're also working simultaneously on 3 films that are going to be shooting in Europe this summer. So there's a lot happening at McCorkle Casting, and you can check out mccorklecasting.com just to see what we're working on. So welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Let's jump into the subject. First of all, irony. It took me a long time to really understand what that was. And it wasn't until I saw our production of Importance of Being Earnest that I really figured it out. that the character has one train of thought, but the audience knows better. So if you think about that, let's talk about what irony is. First of all, let's talk about what irony is not. That's, I think, more valuable first. So when we're talking about irony in acting, it is not sarcasm. It is not smirking. It is not sort of winking at the audience like you are on the inside of the joke. Irony is playing the truth of the moment while the audience knows more than you do. See, the character is absolutely committed and believes fully while the audience holds the contradiction. To me, in writing, that is the magic. But I often see actors overplaying the ironic moment in whatever scene that they're doing, whether it's in scene study or even whether it's in a film audition or a television audition. See, actors overplay irony because they want to show that they're intelligent, that they know. They want to be in on the joke with the audience. Sometimes I think actors want to feel modern. They want to feel like they're smart enough. They don't trust simplicity. But you have to know that irony lives in commitment, not commentary. So please do not comment on those moments. And so here's a call to action to help you out with that. Ask yourself, why does my character believe completely? Play that. Why does my character believe completely? Play that. I think that was worth repeating. The casting director's point of view when actors play irony correctly is important to take a look at. When I see it done well, it feels effortless. It feels really confident. It feels watchable. Now, when I see it not being done well, here's what it feels like. It feels smug. It feels very busy. It feels unsafe. It kind of muddies the waters. Casting doesn't want clever. We want grounded. Okay, somebody write that down. That was really good. Now, how to practice irony. Here's some practical tools that I think you're going to find useful. First of all, remove the punchline. Just eliminate it. It's not something you have to play. It is not something that you need. If you simply remove the punchline, and I'm not talking about in performance, I'm talking about in preparation. So if you're indicating the irony, you need to stop. Let it land without help. Here's tool number 2, raise the stakes. Okay, how many times have you heard that, right? See, but as it relates to irony, irony works when the character needs something badly. All right, here's tool number 3, stay in the earnest mode. Speaking of the importance of being earnest, irony dies when actors judge their own character. When you make a statement about yourself, you are dead in the water. So here's a call to action I'd like to share with you. Play every ironic moment like it's deadly serious. When you do that, that heightens the emotional aperture, so to speak, of the moment, and it really makes it interesting. It can also broaden the comedy. It really does work so beautifully well because to the character, that kind of sincerity is really fun to see. So I think where irony lives best, where do you see it? And where does it live best? I love that phrase. Where does it live best? Because it thrives, I think, in comedy. You see it quite frequently. What I call dramedy, comic drama. You'll see it in procedurals many, many times. And you'll also see it in modern realism. But this is true. Irony seems to just fall flat when it's a generalization of self-awareness, when it is actor commentary. And so we're going to have some final thoughts about irony right after this. Welcome back. I'm so delighted that you were able to stay with this, talking about irony. And there are some thoughts that I have to share with you about this, because I think irony is not about showing how smart you are. I see that happening all the time. It's like that proverbial wink, wink, nudge, nudge that the actor turns to the audience. It's almost as bad as mugging, as far as I'm concerned. So that's the effort uh, for the actor to show the audience, I'm really smart. I know what's going on. When the opposite is true, the truth of the matter is it takes a very, very sophisticated sense of humor to be able to be sincere in those ironic moments. You see, it's about honoring how sincere the character is, even when they're in the wrong or they're doing something wrong. Another thing to consider is to be able to trust the writing. Trust the moment that is being created by the writer. And that's simply when you're reading through your material and you find the ironic moments in that script. I would absolutely make a notation of that, just so that it is something that you can work against showing. And then you can trust the moment itself. Because when you do that, you're trusting yourself. And trusting yourself is what it's all about. But it's also very, very smart of you to make a notation of those moments simply because that will help you stay away from commenting on it. I hope that that was helpful to you. If this episode helped you, please do me a favor, share it with a scene partner who keeps playing the joke. I'm Jeff Dreisbach, and this is Casting Actors Cast. Please remember to prepare smarter, act better, and book more. I'll see you next time.
From monologues to screen tests to